Monique Tia, and I'm presenting on databases. So a database is a structured set of data that's held in a computer. It's usually able to be shared in like various ways. So there are two types of entities that use databases. The first one is government entities, and the second is private businesses. A couple different government entities that use databases are the FBI, the IRS, the National Directory of New Hire, the Department of Defense, and the Social Security Administration. Databases were originally used by government agencies, libraries, and hospitals. The basics from these primitive systems are still instilled today. They're just more updated and more modern. So for the government databases and their uses, the FBI has a National Crime Information Center that includes millions of records in their database. The IRS keeps your data for incomes, and it's where it sources to decide the amount of taxes that we pay each year. The National Directory of New Hires, it was required by the federal government. It holds data to your social security number, your address, phone number, your wages, and your first and last name, and it's used when you are about to be hired by the government. The next one is the Department of Defense, which has a database for all of your draft information, and the Social Security Administration has a database of very sensitive information, obviously your social security number being one of them, but they all use different types of databases and share in between each other. So there's two laws that stand out when you're talking about databases. The first one is Homeland Security Act of 2002. It's a mandated, and it's used in preventing and responding to natural and man-made disasters. It's made up of 22 different government agencies and bureaus. It was established after the 9/11 attacks and the mailings of the anthrax spores during that time as well, and it was signed into law by President W. Bush. The second one is the USA Patriot Act. It gives law enforcement agencies greater power to monitor electronic and other communications with fewer checks. It's really meant for investigating terrorist attacks and drug trafficking, but it has become used for other things as well. According to justice.gov, which is where I got this information on the Patriot Act from, this act, quote unquote, allows investigators to use the tools that were already available to investigate organized crime and drug trafficking. It facilitated information sharing and cooperation among government agencies so that they can better connect the dots, updating the law to reflect new technologies and new threats. And it increased the penalties for those who commit terrorist crimes. So like I said, it's really meant for terrorist attacks and drug trafficking. So then there's two different styles of profile matching, you could say, when it comes to government databases. The government databases use either computer matching or computer profiling in order to share these databases in between each other. The computer matching is used to link data in several databases. The IRS uses this to match taxes to your vehicle registration, your social security number, and anything that you purchase from a bank, for example, like a loan for a home. They check your insurance information, your social security number to make sure that you don't owe anything before they accept your loan. It's also used in child support because you can't purchase something extremely large like a boat or a car if you're not paying your child support. So the IRS looks into that as well. Computer profiling is a technique that puts together a person who's likely to commit a crime. It's used by the Computer-Assisted Passenger Screening Program. And it's used to locate travelers likely to be terrorists, so it's used in airports and any of the stop turnpike stations. It is connected to the Secure Flight Program, which is like a watch list for could-be terrorists. So then we move on into private databases. These are databases of employees and potential customers. There's an MIB group incorporated that I'll talk about. The Fair and Accurate Credit Transaction Act of 2003, and the Fair Credit Reporting Act of 1970. So the MIB group was formerly known as the Medical Information Bureau. It was comprised of 470 insurance companies. It contains health information for about 15 million Americans and Canadians, and their mission statement is committed to maintaining the confidentiality and security of the information entrusted to it and to protecting the privacy of the individuals to whom it pertains. So this company basically helps assess information about a customer for their underwriting of a lot of their insurance policies. So those insurance policies can include long-term care, your life insurance policy, your health and disability policies, and your income when it comes to like critical illnesses and things like that. Their database carries important and confidential information on their customers, and their whole goal is to ensure that that information does not stray from the people who need to see it. It's on a need-to-see basis only to make sure that all of that information is secured. And then for the credit reporting, we have the Fair and Accurate Credit Transaction Act of 2003. It was amended into the Fair Credit Reporting Act of 1970, and it primarily protects consumers from identity theft. That was its main purpose. For the Fair Credit Reporting Act of 1970, it regulates credit reporting agencies. The three specific ones that they report on are Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. So they make sure that they're following the rules and that anybody who's under these insurance companies are being reported properly. With the Fair and Accurate Credit Transaction Act, the issue of free credit reports came about, and so this says that everybody is capable of having one free credit report, and then after that they're able to purchase more credit reports, but they all have to be fair and accurate, and that's what both of these acts really are for. And that is all.